Okay, page 172, Health System Function, Stewardship and Governance. Components of stewardship. This function is usually, but not always, a governmental responsibility. Health policy formulation, number 1. Number 2, regulation. Number 3, intelligence. Health policy formulation, defining the vision and direction for the health system. Regulation, setting fair rules of the game with a level playing field. Intelligence, assessing performance and sharing information. Some governance oversight questions. 1. What are the health priorities to which public health resources should be targeted? 2. What should be the institutional framework for the system and its actors to function? 3. Which activities should be coordinated with other systems outside the realm of healthcare, e.g., highway safety, food quality control, and how? 4. What are the trends in health priorities and resource generation and their implications for the next 10, 20, or 30 years? 5. What information is needed and by whom to ensure effective decision making on health matters, including prevention and mitigation of epidemics? Governance, defined as structure and processes that are designed to ensure accountability, transparency, responsiveness, rule of law, stability, equity and inclusiveness, empowerment, and broad-based participation. Institutes of governance, traditions and institutions by which political, economic, and administrative authority in a country's affairs at all levels is exercised. Kaufman et al. Governance spans three core dimensions. 1. Authority. 2. Decision making. And 3. Accountability. Governance is multi-level, global, national, and subnational, close, and policy, operational. Governance is multi-tier. 1. Political. 2. Structure. 3. Operating instruments. Political, you have executive, legislature, judiciary. Structure, you have ministry, departments, agencies, boards, commission, service providers, consumers, and general public. For operating instruments, you have legislation, policies, plans, guidelines. So there's a schema here: leadership / governance influence on other health system building blocks. At the center, you have leadership and governance. Then you have at the periphery, you have service delivery, human resources, medicines and technologies, financing, information. Framework: governance for health, WHO domains of stewardship, Pan-American Health Organizations, PAHO, essential public health functions, World Bank 6 basic aspects of governance, UNDP's principles of good governance, WHO stewardship / governance function, 6 domains. 1. Overall system design. 2. Performance assessment. 3. Priority setting. 4. Intersectoral advocacy. 5. Regulation. 6. Consumer protection. PAHO's essential public health functions. Function description. EPHF1. Description: monitoring, evaluation, and analysis of the health situation of the population. EPHF2. Public health surveillance, research, and control of risks. EPHF3. Health promotion. EPHS4. Social participation in health. EPHF5. Develop policies and institutional capacity for planning and management of public health. EPHF6. Strengthening institutional capacity for regulation and enforcement in public health. EPHF7. Evaluation and promotion of equitable access to necessary health services. EPHF8. Human resources development and training in public health. EPHF5. Quality assurance in personal and population-based health services. EPHF10. Research in public health. EPHF11. Reducing impact of emergencies and disasters on health. WB clusters and aspects of governance. 3 clusters and 6 basic aspects. 1. Cluster 1. Processes by which those in authority are selected and replaced. Basic aspects. 1. Voice and accountability. 2. political instability and violence. Cluster 2, ability of government to formulate and implement sound policies. Basic aspects: 1, government effectiveness. 2, regulatory burden. Cluster 3, respect of citizens and the state for institutions which govern their interaction. Basic aspects: 1, rule of law. 2, graft (control of corruption). UNDP 5 principles of good governance. You have principles, then you have thematic areas. Principle 1, legitimacy and voice. Principles: legitimacy and voice. That's number 1 principle. Thematic areas: participation. 2, consensus orientation. Principle number 2, direction. Thematic area: strategic vision. Principle number 3, performance. Thematic area: responsiveness. 1, 2, effectiveness and efficiency. Principle number 4, accountability. Thematic area: 1, accountability. 2, transparency. Principle number 5, fairness. Thematic area: equity and inclusiveness. 2, rule of law. Principles of health systems governance. Governance of health systems can be examined along 10 principles of health systems governance. 1, strategic vision. 2, participation and consensus orientation. 3, rule of law. 4, transparency. 5, responsiveness. 6, equity and inclusiveness. 7, effectiveness and efficiency. 8, accountability. 9, intelligence and information. 10, ethics. Health governance structure is crucial. Health reform (structural). Then you have health system pillar, governance structure, status. Health system pillar 1, overall governance structure, SMOH, that's State Ministry of Health. Status: good. Health system pillar, service delivery. Number 2 pillar, governance structure, PHCA, HMB, Board of Tertiary Health, THFs. Status: good. Health system pillar 3, service delivery, governance structure, health quality and patient safety agency (NGO). Status: bad. Health system pillar 4, health financing, governance structure, state health insurance scheme. Status: good, bad. Health system pillar 5, health workforce, governance structure, health services commission. Status: bad. Health system pillar 6, commodities and infrastructure, governance structure, health infrastructure and commodity agency (BHITA). Status: bad. Health system pillar 7, information and research, governance structure, institution for health research, which is structured like the NIHR, NIH, CIHR. Status: bad. Next topic, health system function, resource generation, objectives and expectations. This presentation aims to: 1, highlight the generation of human resource for health. 2, highlight the generation of material resource for health. 3, highlight the consequences of medical brain drain on the local health system. Discuss past efforts at human resource strengthening in Nigeria. Present human resources for health performance of the Nigerian health system. Present some strategies for the health system strengthening in Nigeria amidst medical brain drain. Premise: health systems played a key role in the dramatic rise in global life expectancy during the 20th century. Health systems still contribute enormously to the improvement in population health. An adequate, equitably distributed, motivated, supported multidisciplinary human resource for health (HRH) is the backbone of every health system. It facilitates the smooth implementation of health actions for sustainable socio-economic development and achievement of universal health coverage. The density of health resources for health, human resources for health (HRH), directly correlates with positive health outcomes and coverage for essential health interventions. HRH is a nation's most critical and valuable resources. The sub-Saharan African region has 11% of the world's population, accounts for over 24% of global disease burden, is home to only 3% of the global health workforce, spends less than 1% of the world's financial resources on health. Health system building blocks and health outcomes. SBB inputs. 1. Leadership/governance. 2. Healthcare financing. 3. Health workforce. 4. Medical products infrastructure. 5. Information and research. 6. Service delivery. Indices outcomes. Health indices, e.g., mortality and morbidity statistics. Functions of the health system. 1. Stewardship oversight sets the context and policy framework for the overall health system. 2. Delivering services (provision). Public and private health service provision is the most visible product of a healthcare system. 3. Creating resources (investment and training). Health service inputs managing resources is the assembling of essential resources for delivering health services. 4. Financing collecting, pooling and purchasing. Health system financing includes collecting revenues, pooling financial risk, and allocating revenue strategic purchasing of services. Density of HRH and health outcomes. So this is a graph, two graphs. Density of nurses and IMR. A. B. Density of nurses and under 5 mortality rate. Can we discern? System building blocks are driven by humans. Functions of the health system are driven by humans. Healthcare provision is driven by humans. Health services is labor intensive. People are at the center of what all that can happen in healthcare delivery. Patients, payers, providers, etc. Where do we go from here? Oversight questions on HRH. 1. What are the health priorities to which public resources should be targeted? 2. What is there a strategic plan for HRH? 3. What is the policy for procurement, preparation, and maintenance of HRH? 4. What are the number, mix, and cadres of health work? 5. What is the distribution for HRH by place, time, and skills? 6. What are the forecasts for the generation and deployment of HRH for the next 10, 20, or 30 years? 7. What information is needed and by whom to ensure effective decision making on HRH? Improving human resource. 1. Supply/demand of human resources. 2. Investment decisions concerning technology, its acquisition and use. 3. Investment in knowledge. Key aspects of HR management. 1. Procurement of staff through recruitment, selection, placement, orientation, transfers and promotion. 2. Preparation through appraisal, training and development. 3. Maintenance through leadership, supervision and control. Enhancing human resource for health, efficiency, teamwork, availability, retention. Health team. Team, a group of individuals working together towards a common objective. Patient care team, care for a specific group of patients. Agreed and shared treatment objectives. Combines an appropriate balance of different roles, the bearers of which know, accept, and respect the role of each other. Maintains communication which guarantees the sharing and contribution of each team member in increasing information concerning good patient care. Evaluates the extent to which the team has achieved the set objectives effectiveness. Facts. There is chronic, very intense, deep-rooted and crippling conflict among health staff in Nigerian teaching hospital. Strong correlation exists between effective teamwork/collaboration and improved performance in many aspects of healthcare. Effective teamwork/collaboration can significantly reduce workload, increase job satisfaction, staff retention, and patient satisfaction while reducing patient morbidity, hospitalization, readmission, and hospital visits. Teamwork exists in healthcare where 2 or more health staff work interdependently to provide care for patients. Where these teams exist, team members are expected to be mutually dependent, see themselves as working collaboratively for patient care. Growing body of evidence suggests a positive relationship between team-focused healthcare and quality patient safety, as well as ameliorating staff shortages and burnout. Definition. A team is a collection of people with complementary skills who regularly interact to pursue common goals. They hold themselves mutually accountable for performance results. Collection of individuals sharing common purpose under a common leader and seeming and seeing that they have a common identity, it has some central purpose, temporary or permanent, and a degree of self-awareness as a group. Cole, 2003. Teamwork is a process of people actively working together to accomplish common goals. Team role is an individual or person's tendency to behave, contribute, and interrelate with other members within a team. Buchanan and Hozinski, 2005. Most tasks in organizations are well beyond the capabilities of individuals alone. Managerial success is always earned in substantial part through success in mobilizing, leading, and supporting people as they work together in groups. The new organizational designs and cultures require it, as does any true commitment to empowerment and employee involvement. Group/teams. A formal group/team are those groups in an organization which have been consciously created to accomplish the organization's collective purpose. These formal groups perform functions such as getting work done, generating ideas, etc. The formal group functions are tasks which are assigned to it and for which it is officially held responsible. Buchanan and Hozinski, 2005. An informal group is a collection of individuals who become a group when members develop interdependencies, influence one another's behavior, and contribute to mutual need satisfaction. Buchanan and Hozinski, 2005. Teamwork and group work continued. Social loafing is a tendency of some people to avoid responsibility by free riding in groups. Teams and teamwork are not problem-free. You will always find the individual in the group who will slack off because responsibility is diffused in the team and others are present to do the work. Synergy is the creation of a whole greater than the sum of its individual parts. Synergy occurs when a team uses its membership resources to the fullest and thereby achieves true collective action far more than could otherwise be achieved. Being part of a team can have a strong influence on individual attitude and behaviors. Groups/teams. Key structural factors of group behavior: size, leadership, cohesiveness, nature/motivation of members, group norms, individual roles, environment, natures of task, and size. Okay, so it goes again. Adapted from Crutchfield and Blackie model of group function in 1962. Formal and informal groups. A formal group is intentionally formed, officially recognized, and supported by the organization. They are part of the formal structure and are created to fulfill a variety of essential operations. A good example is the work group, consisting of a manager and subordinates and responsible for the continued performance of important tasks. An informal group is unofficial and emerges from relationships and shared interests among members. They are important in every organization, even though they are not recognized on organizational charts. They are often seen as interest groups in which workers band together to pursue a common cause, such as better working conditions. They could also be support groups in which the members basically help one another to do their jobs. Trends in the use of teams. The trend towards greater empowerment in organizations is associated with new developments in the use of teams. Committees, project teams, task force, and cross-functional teams are mainstream in the modern workplace. Developments in information technology are creating new opportunities for people to work together in computer-mediated or virtual teams. Committee, project teams, and task forces. A committee brings people together outside of their daily job assignments to work in a small team for a specific purpose on a continuing basis. The task agenda is typically narrow, focused, and ongoing. Project teams or task forces bring together people from various parts of an organization to work on common problems. They are convened for specific purpose, but on a temporary rather than a permanent basis, and disbands when the task is completed. The tasks assigned for project teams and task force are very specific. Completion deadlines are also clearly defined. The cross-functional or interprofessional team operates with members who come from different functional units of an organization. They work together on specific problems or tasks, and with the needs of the whole organization in mind. They are expected to share information, explore new ideas, seek creative solutions, and meet project deadlines. They are expected to knock down the walls that otherwise separate departments and people in the organization. They bring together members of all departments to work on new ideas and concepts. The goal is to minimize problems and maximize efficiency. Virtual teams. A newer form of group that is increasingly common in today's organizations is a virtual team, sometimes called a computer-mediated group or electronic group network. This is a team of people who work together and solve problems largely through computer-mediated rather than face-to-face interactions. Working in virtual environments, team members in dispersed locations can easily address problems and seek consensus on how best to deal with them. Virtual teams operate just like other teams in respect to what gets done, how things get done. However, it's different, and this can be a source of both potential advantages and disadvantages. In terms of potential advantage, virtual teams can save time and travel expenses. They can allow members to work collectively in a time-efficient way without interpersonal difficulties that might otherwise occur. Usefulness of teams: 1. More resources for problem solving. 2. Improved creativity and innovation. 3. Improved quality of decision making. 4. Greater commitment to tasks. 5. Higher motivation through collective action. Better control and work discipline. 6. More individual need satisfaction. How teams develop. Stages of team development. A synthesis of research on small groups suggests that there are 5 distinct phases in the life cycle of a team. Tuckman's 5 stages of team development. 1. Forming. 2. Storming. 3. Norming. 4. Performing. 5. Adjourning. Forming: ID, task, rules, methods. Acquire information and resources. Reliance on leader. Storming: internal conflicts develop. Members resist the task at the emotional level. Norming: conflict is settled. Cooperation develops. Views are exchanged and new norms developed. Performing: teamwork is achieved. Roles are flexible. Solutions are found and implemented. Adjourning: group disperses on completion of task. Woodwork's 4 stages of team development. 1. The undeveloped team. 2. The experimenting team. 3. The consolidating team. 4. The mature team. The undeveloped team. Feelings avoided. Objectives uncertain. The leader takes most of the decisions. The experimenting team. Issues faced openly, listening takes place. Team may be temporary, introspective. The consolidating team. Personal interaction is established on a cooperative basis. Task is clarified. Objectives agreed. And tentative procedures implemented. The mature team. Feelings open. Wide range of options considered. Work methods methodical. Leadership style is contributory. Individuals have flexibility and the team recognizes responsibility to the rest of the organization. Teams and team building. Professor John Adder in 1986 suggests that the test of a good effective team is whether its members can work as a team while they are apart, contributing to a sequence of activities rather than to a common task, which requires their presence in one place and at one time. Adder emphasizes the importance of careful selection of team members, referred to Belbin's rules. What is an effective team? An effective team is one that achieves and maintains high level of task performance, member satisfaction, and viability for future action. Clearly defined tasks make it easier for team members to combine their work efforts. An effective team, from Douglas McGregor's The Human Side of Enterprise, 1960. 1. Informal, relaxed atmosphere. 2. Relevant discussion and high participation. 3. Task/objective, clear and understood. 4. Active listening present. 5. Conflict not avoided but addressed. 6. Agreed decision making. 7. Free and open expression of ideas. 8. The leadership is shared, not always the manager or chairperson. 9. The team measures its own progress and behavior. Ineffective team, from Douglas McGregor's The Human Side of Enterprise, 1961. Bored or tense atmosphere. 2. Discussion dominated by a few individuals and often irrelevant. 3. No clear task/objective. 4. Team members are not listening to each other. 5. Conflict is avoided or develops into open warfare. 6. Simple majorities are sufficient for team decisions. The minority have to accept. 7. Personal feelings are kept hidden. 8. Avoidance of measurement of groups' progress. Influences on team effectiveness. 1. Immediate constraints. 2. Group/team motivation. 3. Group/team interaction. Immediate constraints: group size, nature of task in bracket influence of technology, skills of members, environment, group/team motivation. High motivation depends on perception of task and role. How important is the task to the organization, individual, team? Standards of performance used and feedback. Satisfaction of membership to the team. Group/team interaction. High interaction depends on leader, individual, group motivation, rules and procedures bracket norms, openness of people, commitment and collaboration. Processes and factors of teamwork. Processes, factors. Process 1. Mutual performance monitoring. Factors: 1. Consulting each other. 2. Seeking help from each other. 3. Checking each other's work and giving feedback. Process 2. Mutual trust. Factors: 1. Confidentiality. 2. Respect. 3. Trust. Processes: 3. Decision making/planning. Factors: 1. Making decisions together. 2. Making a plan together. 3. Dividing tasks so as not to duplicate effort. Process number 4. Team cohesion. Factors: 1. Interest and commitment. 2. Members available and accessible. Process number 5. Team motivation. Factors: 1. Motivating each other. 2. Encouraging each other. Process number 6. Goals and objectives. Factors: having a common goal. Process number 7. Communication. Factors: good communication. 1. 2. Sharing information. Process 8. Conflict resolution/management. Factors: ability to manage conflict. Criteria for assessing the majority of a I can't see this. Okay, so number 1, trust among members. Then you have on a scale of 1 to 5. 1, 2, 3, very poor. 4, 5, very good. 2. Feedback mechanisms. 3. Open communications. 4. Approach to decisions. 5. Leadership sharing. 6. Acceptance of goals. 7. Valuing diversity. 8. Member cohesiveness. 9. Supporting for each other. 10. Performance norms. So for very poor is where you don't want to be. For very good, where you do want to be. Attitudes to teamwork and task work in a teaching hospital. Rating: professional group rated, mean rating on level of teamwork, doctor, and 44 pharmacists, lab scientists, physiotherapists, nurses. Critical elements of teamwork: clear definition of task and responsibility of each member. That is number 1. 2. Fitting to the team. 3. Training for the teamwork. 4. Freedom to all according to the level education. 5. Mutual knowledge and understanding of each other's knowledge and skills. 6. Open communication between members of the team. 7. Interest and willingness to work together to work as a member of the team. That is identification with the team. 8. Leadership. That is every member needs a defined leader. Every team member must know who the leader is. A functioning, effective PhD team must have a defined leader who, however, must be qualified for his or her task. This is a collaborating, not a collegial team. Essential characteristics of teamwork. The fundamental concept in teamwork is collaboration, to work together in a joint intellectual effort. Critical attributes for collaboration: 1. Sharing, in planning, making decisions, solving problems, setting goals. 2. Coordination, in formulation and carrying out plans for patient care using also open communication. Cooperation between team members. Important to understand the difference between collaboration and cooperation. Assertiveness, meeting one's own needs. Cooperation, meeting the other's needs. The combination of these two, collaboration. If there is a combination of assertiveness and lack of cooperation, the definition is competition. If there is a combination of being non-assertive and cooperative, the definition is accommodation. The latter two combinations ruin collaboration and teamwork. Critical reasons for general failure of teamwork. 1. Perceived threat to professional identity. Reflection of low self-reliance and weak role identity. 2. Lack of knowledge and understanding of the work of other professional groups. 3. Bad communication and transfer of information. 4. Competition between professional groups. 5. Professional basic education. 6. Attitudes of professional organization. 7. Most frequent, lack of managerial support to teamwork. International trend in group. WHO, emphasis in continuous education should be shifted to guided activity at workplaces using the principle of shared training. The international trend. Shared education is equal to shared values, shared objectives, getting used to shared problem solving. Identification with the team. What it is, what it does, what are its objectives. Ability to observe and analyze the activities and outcomes of the team's work. A prerequisite for an effective team is the training of its members as a team and not using a profession-specific separate training model. Emphasis on team thinking. Members of a team learn how to work effectively together and to understand 1. The task and responsibility of the team as a team. 2. The role of each member of the team in the responsibility of the team and its task. 3. To what extent the roles of members overlap. 4. The prerequisites for a successful team. 5. The relationship of the team with the activities of the organization. Obstacles to shared education. 1. The unwillingness of teachers to teach students with various and different educational backgrounds. 2. The difficulty many people have in learning as a team. 3. The shortage of teachers with experience in multi-professional education. 4. The lack of appropriate teaching and learning materials. 5. The lack of team-focused in-service training in PHC. 6. Insufficient knowledge of the educational needs of primary health care staff. 7. The fear of some teachers and some key persons in the organization of destroying the identity and distinction of one's own professional group through shared education. Benefits of shared learning. 1. It develops the ability of the health worker to share knowledge and skills with others and thus increases the effectiveness of an activity. 2. It enables the workers in developing their competence in team working and helps them to develop mutual respect and appreciation of each other's. 3. It helps to undo the effect of profession-specific education, prevents the development of a profession-specific tube thinking, which is an important factor in resisting the collaboration between various professional groups. 4. It makes it easier for members of different professional groups to communicate with each other. Brain drain. What is brain drain? Human capital flight. Migration of highly skilled and educated individuals from a country origin to another country destination. Transfer of knowledge, skills, experience, and expertise from one country to another. Common denominator, brain or talent. People with high intellect or qualification. Converse, brain gain. What is medical brain drain? Loss of human capital from one area to another. Emigration of highly trained medical workers, e.g., doctors, nurses, etc., who have received their training from their country of origin. Non-return of highly trained medical workers who were sent to receive training from another country. Traction, usually from developing to developed countries. Who are those migrating? Professional groups including doctors, nurses, lawyers, scientists, engineers, pharmacists, IT specialists, artists, preachers. Preponderance of young skilled migrants with tertiary education. Among migrants aged at least 25 years, those with tertiary education are 7.5 times more than primary, 3.5 times more than secondary. A cross-sectional descriptive study among 201 clinical medical students at Uniport in 2024 revealed that 70.1% of the clinical students had intentions to migrate post-graduation. 2. More than half of this population are already actively seeking guidance on how to migrate. 3. The top countries of choice are the United Kingdom, 35.7%, the United States of America, 31.4%, and Canada, 12.1%. Major push factors identified for migration intentions were poor health system, 16.6%, poor working conditions, 15.9%, and political and socio-economic instability, 15.3%. Main pull factors were the good standard of living, 15.1%, higher salary, 15.0%, and better health system, 13.9%. Brain drain phenomenon. How long? From time immemorial, spanning different era, country, regions. Changing context, drivers. Migration of students and intellectuals to cities for learning. Aristotle, 338 BC. Plato, 355 BC. Alexandria, 300 BC. Migration of skilled labor from colonized to colonial countries for educational and job opportunities. Migration of scientists from UK to US and Canada in the 50s and 60s. Post-World War II migration of skilled labor from developing to developed countries. corporate globalization of the West and attraction of talents, more evident in Nigeria since the late 1980s. Japa syndrome, recent epidemic of runaway, escape, exodus mentality among the Nigerian youth in quest for escaping hardship and limitations in Nigeria for greener pastures in other countries. How big is the problem? Brain drain has attained a crisis proportion in the health sector. Less than half of the 72,000 registered doctors by MDCN are working in Nigeria. 65% of doctors registered with the General Medical Council of UK are foreigners. 1,197 Nigerian trained doctors were licensed between May 29th and December 1st, 2023 by the GMC. Nigerian doctors on the GMC register increased from 4,618 in 2016 to 12,198 in 2023. 88% of doctors and greater than 50% of nurses in Nigeria want to emigrate. 57,000 nurses emigrated between 2017 and 2022. How big is the problem? Marked increase from 1,393 nurses that migrated in 2002 compared to 5,543 in 2021.